Good evening. We're going to start with just a brief opening this evening, then we'll enjoy our meal together. I hope that you're in a good place. Please introduce yourself to those at your table, and we'll begin this evening. I'd like to first introduce our host couple this evening, Glenn and Melinda Johnson.
Thank you, Richard. We are really pleased to welcome everyone this evening to our fifth annual Presidential Partners Banquet. This is a great evening. Looks like we've got a great turnout, and we are very, very pleased to see each of you here. We started our academic year on Sunday with our convocation for freshman students, and in the same way, this event really characterizes our convocation, or the beginning, with our best university supporters and our greater university community. So we're so pleased that you could be here this evening. We could officially welcome our art gallery, which if you had a chance to go in there and take a look at it, I hope that you were as excited as we are about the job they've done. Let's thank Dr. Miles and Professor Beach again for the great job that they did in that renovation process. At this time, I would like to ask our Director of University Advancement at Southeastern, Mr. Richard Ayers, to come forward for our invocation.
Let's pause for a moment, shall we? Father God, we recognize your presence in our lives. We recognize that our commitment to the values of Christian living have made this world better for us and for students. We thank you for the vision that these people have to give of themselves in terms of scholarships and capital projects and endowed chairs and professorships to help young people fulfill their dreams in higher education. We ask, Lord, that you bless the meal that is before us this evening, our time and our fellowship around the table. In the name of your Son, we lift our prayer and ask your blessing. Amen.
Please enjoy your dinner.
I'm gonna sit right down and write myself a letter. And make believe it came from you. I'm gonna write words oh so sweet. They're gonna knock me off my feet. A lot of issues on the bottom. I'll be glad I got on. I'm gonna smile and change, and I hope you'll feel better. And close with love the way you do.
Good evening. We will go ahead and begin our program this evening. If you've not finished with dinner, please feel free to continue. Hope everyone enjoyed our meal this evening. Please join me in thanking our Aramark staff, Louis Lalonde, and everyone with Aramark for a delightful meal this evening. Also, they're in the back and around. We ask our theater students this year to join us to serve this evening, so let's thank our theater students at Southeastern. If you enjoyed our musical entertainment tonight, let's thank Dr. Robert McFadden, Dana Daniels Ayers, and Michael Ruff for providing our musical entertainment tonight. We have a number of special guests that are here this evening, and we will recognize them at this time. First, a very special guest, a member of our State Regents for Higher Education. In April, our Board of Regents named the School of Business after Regent John Massey, so please make welcome Regent John Massey and his wife Donna this evening. We're very pleased to have our state representative with us. He was involved in a number of initiatives that impacted higher education, Southeastern, and allowed us to have authorized by the legislature our first branch campus in McCurtain County. Please give a very special welcome to our state representative John Kerry and his wife Pam. Representing Chief Greg Pyle and the Choctaw Nation, Ms. Joy Culbert. Joy, thank you for being here. And representing Governor Bill Anatubby and the Chickasaw Nation, Mr. Brian Campbell. Brian? And both of them are Southeastern alumni. All right, let's hear it for that. Pleased to have the Executive Director of our Durant Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Rick Hamill. Rick, thank you for being here. Let me not forget the First Lady of Southeastern, a member of our Alumni Board, my wife, Melinda Pierce Johnson. I want to recognize our Southeastern Foundation at this time. Over the last 5 years, the Southeastern assets at the university have grown from $3.9 million to over $12 million because of a very aggressive and focused Southeastern Foundation Board. A number of them are here this evening. I'd like to ask the Southeastern Foundation Board to stand and let us say thank you for their great efforts on behalf of the Foundation. Board members, please stand. We also have a very active alumni association at the university led by Mr. Gary Arnett, who is the president of the Alumni Association. Please welcome Gary and his wife, Melissa. Gary? And a number of the alumni board members are here. Let's recognize them if they would stand, please. The Distinguished Alumni Award is the highest award the university can bestow upon an alumni of this university. We have several recipients here. Let's ask our distinguished alumni from the university to stand and let's recognize them for their contributions to the university. Distinguished alums from the university. And finally, a group that, I mean this sincerely, it's really an honor and privilege for me to work with, and that is the faculty and staff at Southeastern Oklahoma State University. Please stand and let us thank them for the great job they do day in and day out for our students. We've got a lot of ground we want to cover this evening, but I do want to take this opportunity of special evening like our Presidential Partners Banquet to talk just for a few brief moments about successes at the university. We kicked off our academic year Sunday with an academic convocation, a new ceremony at the university, but we had over 500 freshmen with their parents in Montgomery Auditorium, basically to start things on the right foot. It was a great day. We talked about the history of the university. We talked about alumni who have sat in their chairs and walked the same sidewalks that they were walking, and really began the process of not only starting the college experience right, but to let them know what Southeastern is all about. On Wednesday, great news for the 18th consecutive semester. This is a trend that's the longest university in the state of Oklahoma. We had an enrollment increase that now puts together 18 consecutive semesters going back to the fall of 2000. So congratulations for 18 consecutive semesters of enrollment increase at the university. I also mentioned history. We were authorized by the state legislature earlier this year, Senate Bill 68, that was carried in the House of Representatives by Representative John Kerry. Senator Jeff Rabin provided strong leadership in the Senate, and we now have our first branch campus in McCurtain County. The legislature converted the McCurtain County Higher Ed Center to Southeastern's branch campus in McCurtain County. So we are excited about what that means, and frankly, it means greater educational opportunities for the students in that area, addressing the needs not only of the students but of the business community, and we're excited about what it means for the university. Also, we broke new ground in July by announcing a partnership with Grayson County College, a two-state branch campus opportunity where we will be beginning this week offering courses at Grayson County College in Denison, Sherman, Texas with our education program. And again, a very innovative program, one of the few in the nation where two states come together to offer educational opportunities. We see North Texas as being a very strong growth corridor. We want to be part of that action, and we're excited about being in Grayson County at this time. Both of our Native American tribes are here this evening, and we have two bits of important information to announce. The Native American Excellence in Education Project was announced a few weeks ago, and we are very honored to receive a grant in partnership with the Choctaw Nation for $965,000 from the U.S. Department of Education. Great news, and certainly gives us a chance to, in area high schools where there's a high degree of Native American population, to locate our students who will teach in those high schools in conjunction with a cooperative program with the Choctaw Nation and our U.S. Department of Education. Also want to thank the Chickasaw Nation, who this year provided Southeastern with an endowed chair and 2 endowed professorships. Brian, please convey our thanks again to Governor Anatubby. I know Dean Gaster and School of Business appreciates it, and let's thank both the Choctaw Nation and the Chickasaw Nation for those efforts. And while I'm on that subject, we have more endowed chairs at this university than any regional university in the state of Oklahoma. So very pleased with that accomplishment. Received one, the 7th endowed chair from Regent Massey in the School of Business. So we're very excited about setting the trend and leading in that area as well. We know that you can have a great faculty and a great staff, but if you don't have facilities, sometimes the students won't walk into the door. And over the next 2 to 3 years, we are embarking upon a $53 million building program at the university that will literally change the landscape of this campus. Very excited about what it means. The higher education bond issue that the governor and legislature approved in April will provide $10.1 million for this campus. It will let us build a new large classroom building at 7th and Choctaw to house computer science, mathematics, and occupational health and safety. We also will renovate the science building. We will renovate the Morrison building and Montgomery Auditorium. We will convert the Student Activity Center at First and E.T. Dunlap for our theater program. We will also add seminar rooms and computer labs throughout our campus. We will additionally make renovations at our Aviation Sciences Institute, which is now not only the largest aviation program in Oklahoma, it is the largest aviation program in this region of the United States. So congratulations on what we will do with the bond issue. In addition to all of that, we will be breaking ground on September 8th at Paul Aird Field. We are in the process of finalizing and finishing a $2.3 million renovation of our football stadium, new artificial turf, a new home team locker room, new entrance to the football stadium, adding 600 seats on the home site, and we will dedicate all of that at 10 o'clock in the morning on September 8th, 2 days before our first home football game. So we will be finishing in time, and we're excited about that. As soon as that project's finished this morning, several of you were at the south of town by the Country Club to dedicate the new multi-sports complex there. All of this was through the wisdom and generosity of our city voters last May that authorized 2 propositions for sales tax to fund these projects. As soon as we finish the football stadium, we will be moving immediately north to build a new 4,000-seat arena and convocation center. It will have an indoor pool, a wellness center, an indoor walking track, special events center, and something that will really be great for the university and the community as well. We're in the process of raising money for an intramural park and baseball park, and that project's moving along very well. Moving immediately to the west of our football stadium, we are going to have by October of this year our new residence hall, the new Shearer Hall and Suites, which will be 300 new apartment-style dwelling complex for our students, will be half complete in October, fully completed and ready for full occupancy in January of this year. And it's a great looking building. It's going up very, very well, and it will be state-of-the-art residential opportunities for our students. In addition to that, construction is now underway and above ground on our new student union facility. It's scheduled to be completed next summer. We're building the student union because we believe our students deserve that one-stop shop. We believe they need to have their residential life activities, their student life activities, their health center, their wellness center, a place to study, a place to recreate, all under one roof. And that's going to be the busiest building on campus, and we're excited about our prospects on the student union. So as we get to this point, I'm very, very excited as we're marching down to our centennial, our 100th birthday for the university. It will be in the year 2009, and as we made the pitch for our new buildings to the legislature and the governor, we made the case that our 100th birthday is a couple years away, and most of our buildings are about 100 years old. So we need some renovation, we need a little help there, and we were able to make a strong case for that. But I would just like to say that if we look at all these things, we've got a chance to really change the landscape of our campus, and it's through the generosity of a lot of different groups, legislature, city voters, alumni, and supporters, and all of that's going to build a better university. So congratulations for the role that each of you have played in a very, very dynamic process going on at Southeastern Oklahoma State University. Thank you for what you've done. And every year at this event, we announce where some of the funds are going from presidential partners. The first project will be an ongoing project. We, several years ago, started funding our new band uniforms. The need was very clear, and certainly we all know the great job that Professor David Christie has done as we built our marching band into truly a great marching band in the state of Oklahoma. We will provide additional funding for uniforms this year, so I just want to ask everybody here to take a moment to express our thanks to Professor David Christie for providing so much pride to our university in terms of the Pride of Southeastern Marching Band. Professor Christie, thank you. Thank you for being here tonight. The next project for the third year in a row, we believe that the union is our top capital project, and we will be providing an additional contribution to the student union. Along those lines, we have several folks that are here. A number of folks have contributed to the union. I want to recognize First Texoma National Bank for providing the first lead gift. Mr. Jim Cottle is here this evening, and appreciate very much. Thank you, Jim, for being here. Let's thank First Texoma National Bank for their leadership. We also were very, very pleased to have a number of other Linda Abbott, Mr. Brad Keithley, and Kathy Keithley. Thank you for taking the lead on this. Let's thank them at this time as well. And 8 days ago, I received a call at about 8 in the evening. We have a number of requests into foundations in the state, and I had a call from the One Oak Foundation in Tulsa, Oklahoma Natural Gas, and they advised us that they were going to be sending a check in response to our request for $100,000 for their contribution to the union. So be sure and thank them as well. Our fundraising continues, and we're very, very excited about what it means. I mentioned the football stadium earlier, our third initiative for partners this year. We will be, in addition to everything going on in the way of turf and new seats, we will also be furnishing not only a home team locker room area, but there will also be classrooms in that area. And there's going to be a need for office equipment, video equipment, and a number of other things relating to what they need for their collegiate athletic training program. And so in conjunction with that, one of the gifts that we will make this year will be for furnishings in our new classroom and locker room area. I know that that will not only provide benefits for the university, but also for Durant High School and the other groups that will use our new football stadium. So that will be another decision that we will make, and we'll announce that formally at the dedication on September 8th. And finally, the fourth initiative is one that's very personal. It's one that's sometimes emotional, and it goes directly to the heart of our academic mission at the university. We always have supported scholarships for our students, and we're going to do that again this evening. We had a number of applicants this year for our scholarship program, over 40, and the 3 that we're bringing you this evening have all had outstanding academic backgrounds at the university. They've been involved in university life, community life, and certainly are ones that in each case put the university's best foot forward. So I'd like to invite our 3 Presidential Partner Scholarship recipients to come to the platform at this time with me. Let's congratulate them collectively. Our first recipient this evening is Lindsay Dennis. She's a graduate of Velma Alma High School in Stevens County. She has a variety of interests and seems to excel in all of them. In high school athletics, she was a state champion pole vaulter, state runner-up in the fast pitch softball, active in state FFA and 4-H leadership positions, and listed in Who's Who among American high school students and athletes. Since she's been at the university, she's been a member of the President's Leadership Class, Student Government Association, which she now holds a major office, homecoming chair for student activities. On the state level, Lindsay participates in the Oklahoma Student Government Association and has earned a position on the Student Advisory Board. She's also been elected Southeast Regional Director for that advisory board. Please welcome Lindsay Dennis and congratulate her.
Thank you, President Johnson. Welcome. As the President said, my name is Lindsay Dennis. At this time, I'd like to introduce you to my parents, L.W. and Dawn Dennis. Will you please stand? I am a 20-year-old junior at Southeastern Oklahoma State University. I did graduate from Velma Alma High School. My hometown is Velma Alma. Sorry. I was heavily involved in sports in high school, track, softball, and cheerleading, as well as extracurricular activities such as FFA, 4-H, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and Student Council. The transition to college was a growing and learning process for me. To move from being with my everyday friends, faculty, and family, I found a new home here at Southeastern Oklahoma State University, where I started a new family of friends that I have bonded with over the past 2 years. Southeastern is a great place for me to go to college. It was an escape to an environment where I wasn't known and where I could start a new beginning and another chapter in my life. As I made my choice to Southeastern and became better by the day, I received a scholarship from Johnny McFatridge, whom personally welcomed me by coming to my job in Duncan. He congratulated me and encouraged me, making me feel great about my choice to Southeastern. The President's Leadership Class was a big opportunity for me, as well as being a senator for the Student Government Association. Those experiences have helped me become the leader that I am today. I have had the privilege of working with the Chancellor for the State Regions of Higher Education, as well as being an Oklahoma State Officer for Student Government Association. Being in the President's Leadership Class, as well as the Student Government Association here at Southeastern, I had continuing advisement from Dean McCraw, as well as Vice President Robinson. They inspired me to be great in everything that I do and continue to do. I often wonder what my campus life would be like without extracurricular activities. For some people, they live for athletics, and their ticket to college is just that. Well, for me, I love to be involved and help others be involved. The more that I think about this, student life is molding me into the dynamic adult that I hope to become. This is who I am, and that is what I do. And if not for you all donating your money and your time, I would be unable to serve the students of Southeastern. I really would like to thank each and every one of you who have donated, and I hope that you have a wonderful evening.
Thank you very much, Lindsay. Our second recipient this evening is Dane Cunningham, a music major and business minor from Allen High School in Collin County, Texas. Dane was also an ideal candidate for this scholarship with a 3.76 grade point average and no scholarship support other than that being awarded from the chorale and musical performing groups. In high school, he was a member of the National Art Honor Society, the Allen High School Show Choir, and the Art Club. Since coming to Southeastern, he's been a Super Savage leader, and also a leader in the Lambda Chi Alpha fraternity. He often represents the university as a member of Dr. Stacy Weger's chorale and choir programs. Please welcome our second recipient, Mr. Dane Cunningham.
Thank you, President Johnson, for that introduction and allowing me to be here. I've really enjoyed my dinner with the Friars and my date, Candace Brown, a really close friend of mine. Excuse me. And I'm really having a lovely evening. Growing up in a large family with 5 children and being the only boy is a very difficult and very interesting thing to comprehend. For 19 years of my life, my parents have protected, sheltered, loved me, and provided for me. Regretfully, they are unable to be here tonight. My mother, with a college degree, understood the importance and the value of a good education. My father, without one, also understood. Both have encouraged it for a long time, and both encourage good grades and great behavior. Through high school, I attended many classes and many great activities. I graduated with a 3.51 from Allen High School, 5A school in Texas, and made an 11.10 on my SATs. Now that I attend Southeastern, my parents continue to provide. Coming to Southeastern was a great opportunity. Dr. Stacy Weger and Dr. Stephen Emge both opened my eyes and warmed their hearts to this campus. From touring around campus and helping us understand the transfer into college atmosphere to offering very helpful scholarships, Dr. Weger and Dr. Emge both have been very supportive, caring, and thoughtful in everything they do. Since I've been a student at Southeastern, I've been involved in many organizations and been to many events. I'm an active member of Lambda Chi Alpha, as President Johnson mentioned. I'm a member of Catholic Student Association, the Super Savage leader, the new mentor for the Choctaw Towers, a tenor in the Southeastern Chorale and its symphonic choir, a member of the Residence Hall Association. The events that I've attended range from Fall Preview, Welcome Week, Homecoming, game days down at Touchdown Alley, bonfires, concerts, the 80s dance, the Lambda Chi Alpha banquet, which President Johnson was able to attend and meet our parents, March Music Madness, curriculum contest, home games, the Big Blue Bash, singing the national anthem at games, and Springfest, just to name a few. I'm currently majoring in the Bachelor of Music and Arts in Music with a business minor. I've taken 32 hours so far and ended my semester with a 3.76 and my second semester with a 3.4. Being a music major takes most of my time. Practicing piano, music theory, singing for my voice teacher and for choir, doing plenty of music homework and attending concerts. Music theory, being my most challenging class, has helped me further my education and understanding of music in general. Thanks to Dr. James Wintle, I was able to accomplish this. Being able to take his class in my freshman year was kind of an interesting situation. Testing into the class first off was a very difficult thing to do, and jumping right in was very interesting. Hearing not only from students but other faculty of how Dr. James Wintle taught and expected from his students, I was kind of skeptical. but sitting in his class and learning everything that I've learned so far and studying, he demonstrates a great understanding for music using the piano, recordings, and compositions. I am privileged and honored to learn from such an internationally respected professor. I spend the rest of my time with homework, of course, attending events, visiting friends occasionally, and the organizations I'm involved in. Being able to receive this presidential partner is very special to me and my parents in helping us provide for my education. I would personally like to thank every one of you for giving and donating all your time and efforts. I hope you all have a lovely evening.
Thank you very much, Dane. Our third recipient this evening is Miss Charity Laponzi. She is came from Moore High School, very active in representing the university. You've probably seen her on stage during our recently completed Oklahoma Shakespearean Festival. She is a theater and musical theater management major who's a member of the Alpha Chi National Honor Society, member of theater at Southeastern, a former member of the Corvette Stage Work Company, and she also works with the American Association of University Women Children's Theater Program. She's an excellent student. Her transcript reveals only 1 B and 92 hours of academic credits, compiling a 3.96 grade point average. Please welcome Charity Laponzi.
Thank you, President Johnson, for such a lovely introduction. As the light changed from red to green to yellow and back to red again, I sat there thinking about life. Was it nothing more than a bunch of honking and yelling? Sometimes it seemed that way. Jack Handey said this quote, not knowing my life or me, but somehow managed to say exactly what I was feeling. I found this quote my senior year of high school. Like many students, I had a huge decision ahead of me. What college to attend? I went to college fairs, visited several campuses, and even talked to professors, but I found myself lost. At the last minute, I enrolled at Oklahoma State University in Stillwater. I thought a Big 12 school was for me. I was wrong. Halfway through the fall 2002 semester, my first semester in college, I called Dana Ayers. And she said, quote, finally, you've come to your senses. I was headed to Southeastern and petrified. I had already tried one school, and here I was moving further from home and my support system. I quickly discovered that Southeastern was more like a family than a university. Del McLean, my sensible father. Barbara Alcoffer, my all-knowing aunt. James Cunningham, my funny uncle, and Riley Riso, my cool sister. Dana Ayers quickly became a surrogate mother to me. Our relationship resembles that of a mother and daughter more and more every day. I can't tell you how many times we've argued because I'm stubborn and you'll never get me to say this again, Dana. She's right. Seriously, don't ask. The theater at Southeastern faculty has always pushed me to be the best that I can be. And it isn't easy for them because I usually fight them most of the way. You see, they know what my best is better than I do, and they make me strive for it every day. Since I've been here at Southeastern, I've had some amazing opportunities. I was a member of the Corvette Stageworks Company for 2 years, Mary Magdalene in Jesus Christ Superstar, Peggy in the revival of the Taffetas, and I even received an award for my part as the little old lady in a wheelchair in Anything Goes. That's right. I was pushed around in a wheelchair for the entire show, and I got an award for it. I must now thank the rest of my Southeastern and Durant family because, as one educator said, education is too important to be left solely to the educators. And specifically, I'd like to address the donors. The gifts that you give to presidential partners are very encouraging. You don't just give the financial backing that every student and school needs. you give encouragement. Your encouragement in me is inspiring. You give me what I was missing most, a faith in myself. Now I'd like to thank everyone who is a part of Presidential Partners and who is here tonight, but because I'm a theater major, I have to do it in somewhat a dramatic style. As George M. Cohan said in the musical Yankee Doodle Dandy, my mother thanks you, my father thanks you, my sister thanks you, and I thank you.
I hope you agree that our 3 student scholarship recipients are excellent representatives of our student body. Let's congratulate them again this evening. Thank you all so much. With that, I want to tell you a little bit about the Presidential Partners Program. A Presidential Partner is an individual or company who contributes $1,000 annually to support of the university. A number of benefits to the program. Certainly our courtesy passes for university events and athletic events, our priority parking decals, subscription to the magazine, and most of all, an evening like this where we get to hear from the future of the university. I want to thank all of those who have committed annually to this program for their support. And we're very proud to announce this evening that our Presidential Partner membership list has now grown to 83 members. On your table, you'll find a list of those that are current partners. At this time, I would like to ask everyone who is a member of Presidential Partners to stand, and let's congratulate our Presidential Partners for their commitment to the university. And I might also mention, since we formed partners, we've now raised $233,761 for this program. We certainly appreciate those that have committed their resources to the President's Partners. Anyone who's interested in learning more about the program, you can visit with Richard Ayers or me, and we'll be glad to share what we believe are the great many benefits of Presidential Partners. And along those lines, I always want to present Melinda's check and my check to Richard to make sure that I don't ask anyone to do something that we're not totally in support of. Thank you. 3 years ago at this event, I presented the first annual report that the university had ever compiled to this group first, and we have continued that tradition. Our Presidential Partners will receive our 2005 annual report this evening, and we'll begin the distribution at this time. I would ask you to look on the inside cover as you receive your report. We do have one late-breaking news item that, because of the fact that it did not occur until yesterday, we could not make it into, we could not contain it in our printed report. But yesterday, and this is a very special and significant announcement, we received official notification that for the 3rd time in 5 years, Southeastern Oklahoma State University has been named the highest ranked public regional university in the state of Oklahoma by U.S. News and World Report in their America's Best Colleges Edition 2006. I think all of you know the rankings cover a variety of areas, from everything from graduation rates to freshman retention rates, class size, number of students to faculty members, a percentage of full-time faculty with terminal degrees. The giving rate from the Alumni Association, frankly, is an area where we score very high. But most of all, we're excited about the fact that a nationally a highly regarded national publication for the 3rd time in 5 years has ranked your university as the top public regional in this state. And I hope you enjoy the annual report. It's a compilation of some great news for the university, and we're excited about everything that's contained in the report. Following our entertainment this evening, Melinda and I also would like to invite everyone here to our home at 6th and University, the President's home, for a continuation of the evening. We hope that you'll join us, and we certainly will be ready for continuing the evening in a good fashion there. 6th and University, and we're easy to find. There's a lot of parking. And now for our entertainment. We were talking earlier and talking about the fact that this is a return visit for Burns Hargis and Mike Turpin, the Flashpoint team. They're really an amazing group. They're good friends. The comment was made earlier this evening that we saved the best for last. And Burns said, "Who's on after us?" I'm not sure I understand what that means. When I called Mike Turpin to let him know that as we came together about 5 months ago to talk about entertainment, I told Mike that Turpin and Hargis, the Flashpoint team, was the unanimous pick of the selection committee to be the entertainment this year. And Mike said, "That's really heartwarming." He said, "Did you tell him that we had a bunch of new material?" And I said, "No." He goes, "Well, that's good, because we don't have any new material." But we suspect that's not probably correct. Both of these gentlemen are distinguished in their professional careers. Burns Hargis is the vice chairman of the Bank of Oklahoma. He has been the Oklahoma County Bar Chair. He currently serves as a member of the Oklahoma State University A&M Board of Regents. Mike Turpin's been the Assistant DA in Muskogee County. He also was the District Attorney, our Attorney General, State Democratic Party Chair. But most of all, and we only wish we could get Flashpoint down here, on Sunday morning, their show, Flashpoint, consistently over the last decade has been the highest rated public affairs program in this region of the United States. They combine political wit and humor with a very fast-paced program that reports on current events. We're pleased that they're friends of Southeastern. We're pleased that they're with us here this evening. So without any further ado, let's welcome the Flashpoint team, Burns Hargis and Mike Turpin, to the podium.
Wow. I've never had that many shrimp in my life. That was fantastic. Where's Mike? Oh, how do you miss him? Oh, are we doing these? Thank you, Richard. Always count on the pastor to know what mic to use. Gosh, congratulations to the Partner Scholarship winners. That's just fantastic. They were really terrific. They really were.
Yeah. I'd like to say at Westminster Presbyterian Church back in Oklahoma City, this is all new material. My pastor said about 2 years ago, he said, "If you're in God's army, stand up." So I stood up. And he said, "Mike Turpin, you haven't been here in 6 months." I said, "Well, Pastor, I'm in the Secret Service." But I want you to know, when it comes to Southeastern Oklahoma State University, we're not in the Secret Service, and we love Gwen Johnson. Hear me now, believe me later, you're the best president of any university in this country.
And that's a fact.
Okay, that's true.
With the best First Lady, too, I might add.
And the First Lady. But Burns, to all the givers here tonight, as the students so aptly put it, I like to say, if you ain't giving, you ain't living. And the more you give,
which
the more
you didn't learn in college, I can tell you. That's that line.
Congratulations to all of us.
We are just so thrilled to be asked back. We've actually never been asked back anywhere before. We're usually asked to leave before we're through, so this is just fantastic to be here. You know, the last time we were here, it was the gubernatorial election year, and we had 3 of the 4 Democratic candidates for governor that were here. You remember that?
Yeah.
And they looked sort of kind of pitiful, actually, because they were all going to have to, whoever won had to run against Steve Largent. And of course, a funny thing happened on the way to the end zone, and Brad Henry got elected, you know, the boy governor. I mean, he's the youngest governor in the United States. I mean, he's so young that he actually gets a season pass to Michael Jackson's Neverland. Got his own room.
Yeah. There. Brad Henry, who he's talking about, has got a 70% approval rating. He's stronger than horseradish. The only thing he's done that I disagree with is he put Burns Hargis on his transition team. What was that all about?
Every house has a skunk under it, and that was what happened. But you think Brad Henry's invincible in 2006?
I do think that.
Well, And I know J.C. Watts is probably not going to run. I mean, there's been a lot of talk J.C. Watts might come back and run for governor. I don't think that's going to happen.
You know why? Because Barry Switzer told J.C. Watts, you don't change quarterbacks in the middle of a game. And he really did. He told J.C. Watts to sit it out for Brad Henry for 8 years, and then J.C. you can come back. That's what Barry Switzer said.
That's right. After all J.C. Watts did for Barry Switzer, that's what he said. Well, anyhow, anyhow, brings him a national championship. So what does he say? You know, stay in Washington. Well, we've got a secret plan. Everybody thinks Brad Henry is invincible. You know what we're going to do? Frank Sheridan. Remember that name? He's going to become a Republican because we think he's really on to something with this...
cockfighting?
No, cockboxing. Cockboxing.
Don't start this.
We think what elected Brad Henry in 19... You want new material? This is it. It's not going to be any good, but it's new material. The thing that we think in the Republican Party, what did us in was that cockfighting initiative. We think all these people came out, you know, and they wanted cockfighting, didn't they? So they voted against Largent because they were for cockfighting. Well, Frank Sheridan's come up with this great cockboxing idea. Did you hear about it? I mean, we're not kidding you here. The chickens will they'll wear little gloves and little vests with, you guys from California, I'm not kidding you. This is the truth. With little vests with little sensors on it, you know, and then they're score keeps. So as they go after each other, it's a great idea. The only problem with the vest is the chickens don't have shoulders, so there's nothing to hold up the vest. But we really think he's onto something.
Yeah, I got to tell you, you might be onto something because the whole idea of making it against the law to kill a chicken. I mean, think about that. I was Muskogee County District Attorney. And there were parts of Muskogee County where it wasn't a felony to kill a person, let alone a chicken. So, anyway, I see where you're coming from here. Brad Henry's been all over the state, all 77 counties, store to store, door to door, meet and greet.
Oh, no, Frank Sheridan's our guy. We're cooking with him. Oh, the only guy better than Frank Sheridan, and he used to serve with Glenn Johnson. They were partners in Okmulgee County, weren't they? Yeah, that's right. Anyhow, there was a sheriff down in Louisiana, North Louisiana, that broke up a big cockfighting ring. And they asked him how he figured it out, and he said, well, I figured it out because I knew that there was, we knew some Aggies were involved, and we knew some Cajuns were involved, and we knew the mafia was behind the whole thing. They said, how'd you figure that out? And he said, well, I knew that an Aggie was involved because somebody entered a duck in the cockfight. And he said, well, what makes you think Cajuns were involved? He said, well, Cajuns will bet on anything, and somebody bet on the duck. And he said, why do you think the mafia's behind the whole thing? He said, because the duck won. There you go.
Well,
there you go.
Let me give you some local news flashes here real quick before we really get going here.
Oh, I thought we were going.
No, you're not going yet.
This is almost over. That was all the new material we had.
That cockfighting thing's not going anywhere. Neither is Frank Sheridan.
Okay.
Tom Creswell, is he here? Just joined the senior golf tour. On the senior golf tour, you play 3 holes, and whoever remembers their score wins. Okay, all right, there you go.
So much for new material. We gotta get it out.
Gotta get it out. Now I got Farrell Hatch. You guys need to hear this. When I ran for Attorney General back years ago, Farrell helped me here a lot, and my slogan was, "It's time for Turpin. It's Turpin time." And everybody said, "That's a stupid slogan." I said, "Who cares? I won. You know, I'm Attorney General. I got elected." You see what I'm saying? Then I ran for governor and got beat. When I got beat, Farrell said, well, hang in there, go into private practice. And he said, all you got to do is get one client who's rich, mad, and wrong. You know, because they'll fight it all the way to the United States Supreme Court. So I thought I knew Farrell pretty good. So I came down here and tried a case in Bryan County. This is 4 or 5 years ago. And the district attorney is your new judge, Mark Campbell, right? So he was the DA, and congratulations to him. But Farrell was on the bench. He's the prosecuting the case. I've got a client up in Oklahoma City who had a son that got in trouble down here. He's charged with burglary. So I'll never forget. I'm in the local courthouse here. I know Farrell a little bit, you know, from way back when. And so I'll never forget the way he started off the case. Farrell kind of had the robe on and the gavel, case come to order, looked over to me. He said, is the defense ready? I said, the defense is ready, Your Honor. And he looked over to the district attorney, Mark Campbell. He goes, are we ready? That's kind of a funny feeling to have a judge leaning the district attorney's way.
That's the way it works, Bryan County.
I knew I didn't have a chance, all right? Oh my gosh. But Pat Phelps here tonight too. Now Pat Phelps used to be a bankruptcy attorney, but he took all of his cases on contingency. I want to tell you about that as well.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Pat, I just saw Pat up in Oklahoma City getting a new waterbed.
What's that all about?
Well, they've named it the Dead Sea in his house.
Oh, wait a minute. Pat he used to have a card, a business card, that on the front of it said, if I can't get you out of jail, I'll get in there with you. And on the flip side, it said, it's better to know the judge than it is to know the law. I thought that was good advice as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
It really is. No, that's exactly right. Well,
what else can we...
Mike, Mike Turpin was married by a judge. He and his wife were married by a judge, and his wife, Susan, the other day said, I should ask for a jury. That's how that's going.
Don't be bringing our spouses into it. Hey, Burns and I have been doing this for a long time. As you know, most of you know, Burns and I both ran for governor and lost. All you got to do to get a TV show in Oklahoma is run for governor and lose.
Now think about that. Think about that. We both run for governor, we get beat bad, and we get a statewide TV show as political experts.
Right. Right.
I mean, is this a great country or what?
Well, most people say...
If we didn't know anything, we would have won.
Most people say our races for governor were so bad that we put the word goober in gubernatorial. Okay? Now Burns Hargis was doing fine until he had that famous press conference that you may have heard about. He's up there saying, I'm going to stop crime in Oklahoma. This is my law and order plan. He goes, you know all those guys that had their picture on the post office wall? We got to start keeping those guys when we're taking their picture. Let's just start keeping those
now think
guys
about that.
taking their picture.
Why would you let them go?
Yeah.
You got them there, you're taking their picture, you might as well lock them up right then. That's what
He's ahead of his time. But I thought Burns was doing well, and I think for a Republican, being the Democrat that I am, I think for a Republican, Burns would have made a decent governor. For a Republican, I'd prefer a Democrat any day, of course, but I did an informal poll. I was over there outside of Claremore, halfway between Claremore and Pryor. And there's a little club there called the Midway Club. And so I go in, and they're talking local politics. It's right in the middle of your race for governor. It's an informal poll, wasn't scientific. Guys talking local politics, I go over to him and say, hey, I think Burns Hargis is a horse's rear. You know, I just wanted to see what they'd say, Burns. It was nothing personal.
No, I understand.
Yeah, and the guy gets up and takes a swing at me. I said, I'm sorry, I didn't know I was in Burns Hargis country. They said, you're not, you're in horse country. That's when I knew you were in trouble. That's when I knew he was in trouble, Glenn. Oh, it was an informal poll.
It was so bad.
Yeah.
It was so bad. Well, we've been... Yeah, I did, right. We're working tonight. We worked pretty hard driving to Durant. We left Oklahoma City about 10 this morning. And because Mike stops a lot. He has to stop a lot. And I was driving. Of course, I always drive. And we've told you, I think the last time we were here, we told you that we were actually driving to Woodward. And it was real foggy, and it took about 4 hours to get to Woodward, which is a long time in a car with a Clinton Gore sticker on it.
Yeah.
And so and Mike just never stops. I mean, this is what you get. It's not easy arguing with somebody that breathes through their ears. I mean, it's really not. And so we get stopped by this highway patrolman, and he said, Mike jumps out of the car, sort of leaps out, and he says, the guy looks, he said, well, you're Mike Turpin, aren't you? Aren't you the guy on TV? And Mike said, yeah. And the guy I argued with sitting right in that car. And he came over and he looked in the car and he shined the light in my face, and I said, officer, thank God, that man's drunk. He needs to be off this road right now. He said, you two yahoos, get out of my county. So we're coming down. We're coming down, we go through Medill, and doggone, we got it again. We got it again. But Mike starts pulling his cards out. He's got his former attorney general, former district attorney, former, Sheriff's and Peace Officers Association, everything in the world. He said, I've given to every widow and orphan of any police officer ever in the past. The guy gave us a ticket, so here we are. Yeah. But we said we know John Massey, and didn't do it damn good.
We tried. Hey, I'm a little bit upset at the national level because I'm a Democrat. Republicans are in charge of the House, the Senate, the White House. And we were going to argue a little bit of politics and then get right on into our top 10 list that we are proud to share with you this evening. But I'm a little bit upset, as you can imagine, as a Democrat with everything in Washington, D.C. right now.
I think it's great.
Yeah, my take is it's become the Wizard of Oz up there. Cheney needs a heart, Bush needs a brain, and the Senate needs some courage. But I could go on and on. Hello! Oh my gosh! I decided to get partisan. Okay.
We're going to get you a table by a window in Baghdad. That's what we're going to do with you, buddy.
But what I wanted to get to is the one thing they're all arguing about right now is John Roberts.
Go over here and meet the guy with the big bulky jacket on. I think you'll like him.
John Roberts for the United States Supreme Court. Everybody on the right side, the conservatives are getting bad time now because he participated in helping the gay rights group filed a brief with the United States Supreme Court. You saw that. So on the right, they're mad at John Roberts. On the left, the Democrats, they're mad at him because he historically was against women's rights and voters' rights and civil rights.
Wasn't either.
Well, allegedly. So he's like a hitchhiker in a bad town. He can go either way. That's John Roberts. But what I wanted to say is it's going to be the last appointment for George Bush because you got a guy like William Rehnquist who's 82 years old. Everybody thinks he's going to retire and Bush is going to get another appointment. The truth is they haven't studied their history. Oliver Wendell Holmes was the judge, and he served till he was 90 years old. All right? And most people thought he was kind of a ladies' man. And one day in court, a beautiful woman appeared in the United States Supreme Court, and he punched Felix Frankfurter right beside him. He goes, "Oh, to be 80 again." Yeah, true story. True story.
Yeah.
So the point is, you got these guys who are going to serve for a long, long time. This will be the last appointment Bush gets, and that's what they're going to fight over, and that's the biggest fight in Washington, D.C. right now. Fair enough?
You can see why I think Mike was a bottle-fed baby. Even his mother wouldn't allow him that close. So we.
Yeah. Well, if I was going to match wits with Burns, I'd blow a hole in my head so we could start even. But thank you, Burns.
His mother said, no, let's just be friends. Here, let's.
Burns laughs at a joke 3 times. When he hears it, when he tells it, and later when he first understands it. I promise you. You know
this is from a man that takes an hour and a half to watch 60 Minutes, so I'd say you don't need to...
You watch Burns here tonight. He's always slapping you on the back. He's not trying to be friendly. He's trying to help you swallow what he just told you. Yeah, that's true.
All right.
No, I got another. In the pinball game of life, your flippers are a little bit too far apart. Okay. You want to do another one?
No. Okay. No, I want to match wits. Have you done that one yet? I want to match wits. I'll blow a hole in my head so I can start.
Okay, we got this top 10 thing going.
We have worked very hard on this.
Oh, have we?
And we've come up with 10 reasons that Glenn Johnson is the best president Southeastern could ever have. We've got 10 reasons for this. Would you like to come up while we do this? You wouldn't? Okay. All right. Okay, well, here's the first one.
We'll give you rebuttal.
Here's the first one. And they're not all bad. No. For example, the very first one is that your chair-elect, I don't know if everybody knows this here, your chair-elect of the Oklahoma Heritage Association. I mean, the one that hands out the Hall of Fame awards, had a John Massey Award in the Hall of Fame. Seeing John Massey in Tails. Have you seen the March of the Penguins?
Look at it. Look, Harkins is doing
70 miles. Who's seen it here? Who's seen the movie? It's a 70 miles.
Look at it. He's doing penguin impersonations. I can't believe it. Okay. This is pretty bad.
They have penguins have arms like you when we're paying the bill at the restaurant. You just can't quite reach it.
I'm broke as the 10 Commandments. I can't help it. Hey, listen, here's the whole point. Oklahoma Heritage Association, the new chairman, Glenn Johnson.
Yeah.
He'll be picking all the...
If you want to be in the Hall of Fame, if you want to be in the Hall of Fame, there's 3 requirements. 3 requirements. 1, be rich. 2, be able to fog a mirror. And 3, Glenn Johnson likes you. That's the only way it's going to happen.
Yeah,
so we're just giving you that. So that's a good reason. That'll be really good for Southeastern because you're going to have all these people who want to be in the Hall of Fame coming down here, and Glenn's, of course, going to say you got to help Southeastern.
You got to build another dormitory.
All right, second.
No.
Oh, you don't?
No, one other criteria. Glenn told me that his criteria is, he said, Mike, before you judge a man, you should walk 2 miles in his shoes. That way, by the time you judge him, you're 2 miles away from him, and you've already got his shoes. I like that. Okay,
yeah.
Go ahead. I just made that one.
All right, this is the second reason.
Yeah.
And this is just part of his DNA that's important. He's from Okemah. Okemah.
What's Okemah mean?
Well, in Creek, it means big chief.
Big chief. Okay.
Well, he's a chief. And he had a tablet named after him. You know, Big Chief
Tablet. Had tablets named
after him. That's right.
People don't realize, but in Okemah and Muskogee, which is going both places, but in Okemah, Glenn was an honor student. Yes, Your Honor. No, Your Honor. There's a little bit of trouble in juvenile court there, but we got the record all cleaned up. And then Glenn went on for the track team, and it was a big day. One day he was warming up for the hurdles. He backed into the pole vaulter, and he won the broad jump. Okay, the track team. So he's a track star. The truth is, Glenn later became a track coach, and he'll tell you it's one of the best jobs he ever had. He said, all I had to do was say, you boys stay to the left and get back as soon as you can. So, I mean, it says a lot.
That's right. That's good.
What's your next one? You want to hear any more about the track?
These were all written by Mike, so, I mean, the good ones are coming here.
Glenn Johnson just said, is there 10 of these?
Yeah.
We'll very quick.
Well, kind of in that same spirit, Glenn Johnson's the hardest working president in the state, by far.
Yeah.
And one thing you don't have to worry about him wasting a lot of time over at the gym.
Yeah, okay. So what's that?
Well, it means, well,
all I know, folks, is I've come up with a new garlic diet, and that's the one I'm on. And that means you eat enough garlic that your friends stand so far away from you, when they look back, you look skinny. So I'm working on that one. You got the cardiologist diet.
yeah, which is, if it tastes good, spit it out. That's the cardiologist job. And the other one that I like a lot is the Irish coffee diet, because it contains
Struggling people, you know that about them. My favorite, when he was there, he was the man of the house. He was the Speaker of the House. He was in the House of Representatives. You're proud of that. One night, Melinda woke him up and said, honey, there's a burglar in the house. He said, in the Senate maybe, but never in the House. So you've always been a big House guy. I love it, man.
That's right.
Oh, my gosh.
Speaking of which, he came by it honestly because he's the son of the great Congressman Glendale Johnson from Okemah. I mean, who was actually from Izzard, Arkansas, which is near Gizzard.
The Twin Cities of McCurtain County, you've heard of it?
It's kind of the Izzard-Gizzard Metroplex.
Yeah.
It's over there they thought Deliverance was a love story. You know?
Oh, what's that, man? Golly. Glenn, we wanted to report to you, Glenn spent about $100 researching his family tree, John. And once he saw it, he spent $500 just to cover it up. I mean,
that's right. His dad came over from Izzard in a covered wagon, and if you'd seen the wagon, you know.
No.
Never mind.
The Johnson family came to Oklahoma.
No, forget it. It's no good. Forget it.
Okay.
It insults. We're trying to insult Glenn here, not his family. I mean.
Okay. All right, what's the next one?
All right. We like Glenn Johnson, and he's great for Southeastern because he comes on Flashpoint.
We like Glenn Johnson because he comes on Flashpoint. He's been on Flashpoint 3 times.
Every time he did something important, we've had him on.
3 times. Oh, wait a minute. We're going to have him on more because Glenn Johnson's got that quality. We like it, people. He likes us. So thanks for having us here again. Sincerely, I want to say this to you. Glenn Johnson has been on Flashpoint at least 3 or 4 times. And he's going to be on again, by gosh, pretty soon. Because you know we're going to talk about that thing we talked about.
Because we want to be in the Hall of Fame.
We want to be. That's not likely, huh?
Well, not the way this is going.
Yeah, not likely. Hey, Glenn Johnson spoke at 12 different girl states.
What do you think Bill Clinton would have given to have done that?
What are you beating up on Clinton? Bill Clinton and Al Gore gave us 8 years of peace and prosperity sandwiched in between 2 Bush recessions. Okay?
No. Bill and Al did a lot for. That's Bill Gates and Al Greenspan. That's who it is. Now here's the 7th. This is a little bit unknown, but Glenn Johnson was the main doer in setting up the conference on the status of women.
Yes.
Now think where men would be without women.
Scarce.
Yeah, we'd be scarce. That's right. Is
that the right answer?
There would be. That actually is a very, very important conference on the status of women. It was actually started by John Kennedy, who formed the National Conference on the Status of Women, and he named Eleanor Roosevelt as the first chair of that. Yeah. And Eleanor Roosevelt, if you'll remember, has the wonderful saying when they named a rose after her. She said, well, I'm very flattered to have a rose named after me, but I don't like much the description that's in the book, which was, doesn't do well in a bed, better against a wall.
What's that all about?
She really said that. I want that.
She did really say that.
She really did.
She was really talking about
Okay, here it is.
Okay, what's the
This is the best one.
Oh, this is the best one, folks. Get ready. Oh, my God.
The reason Glenn Johnson is the best president Southeastern could ever have is because he's got Melinda, the best first lady.
Yeah. Let's hear it from Melinda. Hear me now, believe me later, the best first lady. Now, Glenn tells me he has the perfect marriage. I said, what's the perfect marriage? Glenn said, I got the perfect marriage. I don't try to run Melinda's life, and I don't try to run mine either. That's not a bad marriage. So
you gave them 5 3-word phrases.
Yeah, no, actually,
we always like to repeat those.
Yeah.
But some of you guys may have forgotten.
Glenn told me his marriage is so successful because he uses 5 3-word phrases over and over, and I thought it was good for everybody to hear this here tonight. He says, number 1, well, I love you. Number 2, you look beautiful. Number 3, let's eat out. That works. Number 4, can I help? And number 5, it's my fault. Right? Okay. So, happy wife, happy life. That's the way they got it figured out. Congratulations to you, both of you, for being a great team for Southeastern.
Okay, here's another reason.
Yeah,
that's it.
You got 2 for the price of 1.
Here's another reason.
Okay.
Glenn Johnson, great president, Southeastern Oklahoma State University.
Right.
He may be chancellor of higher education someday.
Yeah.
You know, in which case, I can really expect to see OU move to Durant.
Oh, and OSU to Okemo. Yeah. And there'll be no more maltuition. No more maltuition.
That's right. This will be Oklahoma University at Southeastern. That's what it'll be. It's going to be great.
Okay. We're just kidding.
The cost, but he'd do a lot for the cost, don't you think?
Well, yeah, he's going to eliminate maltuition for everyone.
Okay, that's good.
No more maltuition.
All right, now, number 10. This is it.
This is the drum roll.
I know.
So to speak.
I know you're excited. Why don't we talk a little more about what we... Now, okay, here's number 10. John Massey likes him.
Yeah,
we think that's important.
That's important. John
we think that's important.
That's important.
Yeah, we think that's important. John Massey has... it's very important that John like you.
Well, most people don't realize this, but John Massey started off very poor. Over at Boswell, poor family, fair enough. They were so poor that for breakfast they ate popcorn, for lunch they drank water, and for dinner they just sat around and swelled up. Yeah, John's over there.
He really was. It was so poor that his mother made his birthday cake out of navy beans. Of course it tasted awful, but it blew out its own candles, so it was...
Oh, you're going blue, man. This is a family crowd.
You know, I'm sitting there Sunday morning, getting ready to go to church.
Yeah.
And just minding my own business, reading from the Daily Oklahoman, and lo and behold, could this all be history? Son of a gun.
Full-page article about Southeastern, John Massey.
I mean, John Massey didn't get this much ink when he was indicted. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Look at this. So we've been working on this issue, this business of the savages. I mean, you had the super savage. What did they were? Super savages? Super savages, yeah. So we've been all the way down. I know you formed an MTF, the Mascot Task Force. 20 people on it. For 4 years they've been working on this. I mean, imagine what you could have gotten done if you weren't working on this. Well, Mike and I worked on it just 2 hours and we got it figured out.
Got it figured out.
It didn't take us long. You had some good ideas.
Yeah. We're thinking the Southeastern Oklahoma State University Magnolias. We hear it's the city of Magnolias.
Yeah. Although I haven't seen a lot of magnolias around here.
We don't see any magnolias.
Well, they did
we thought the Southeastern Oklahoma State University Lakers, kind of Lake Texoma, all right? And then we started thinking the Oklahoma State University
tattoos.
Corvettes. Because Reba McEntire played here in the Corvettes, right?
That would have been good. What about the tattoos?
Well, yeah, maybe for Dennis Rodman, that sort of thing. Okay, all right. Now we
don't think any of those really.
Okay, we worked on this.
We thought of something better.
We worked on this. And so we have a presentation to make here. What we came up with, we stopped them at Deal and got these shirts made. Now, you may not buy into it, and then again, you might like the idea. We're just trying to help.
Are you ready?
Right?
Tell me when you're ready.
Show them what we got. We're ready.
Southeastern Massies.
The Southeastern Oklahoma State University Massies.
The Massies.
The Massies. That's what we came up with. Everybody can agree on that.
We figure he'll give 10, 15 million if we do this.
He'll give even more, folks.
The Massey.
We got only one problem. We thought, what would the mascot look like if we were named the Massies?
It would be, it'd be John's face with his unlit cigar. And then what do you got?
A savage.
So we're back where we started.
We're back where we started. You're the savages. Stay that way forever.
Now we're back there.
Yeah.
But that's what we did. So there you go. 4 whole years. 20 people. Look at that. Just a trip back to Medill. We got it figured out.
Keep it the way it is. You're still the savages. That's the way.
You don't want to put this on any fine upholstery because I think it'll come off pretty fast. Mike had his yellow Crayola there just working like he said, are you sure the color's yellow? Yeah, I think it is. I'm almost sure. Anyway, we have loved it.
Folks. Those are our ideas.
That's it. That's our top 10 for Glenn Johnson, and that's how we hope to help you guys out.
Yeah. We had to hire a team of writers.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
Well, I just want to say
Okay.
that Mike and I, we've been saying 10. It's actually been 12 years. I mean, yeah, almost 13 that we've been doing this. And I mean, I have a twitch. I've got a little bit of a hitch in my get along on this, but we've had a great time, and what we try to do is disagree agreeably. We try to be somewhat civil about this stuff because we found that if you actually talk to one another and don't get personal and don't get mad and ascribe evil attitudes from the other person, you actually can make some progress. That's the way Glenn Johnson operated when he was in the Capitol. I think that's the way John's operating up there now, and I know John Massey operated that way, and that's what we try to do, and we recommend it to everybody we know. My Republican friends say I don't get on Mike enough and vice versa, but you know, basically this is a good man. He's got good hopes and dreams for this state, just like I do. Some of his ideas are a little goofy, probably, but nonetheless, his heart's in the right place, and I respect him for that, and I appreciate these opportunities. Although I must say, 3 hours in the car going home is going to be tough, but I'm going to do what I have to do. It's for you, Glenn and Melinda. It's mainly for you, Melinda. And I just hope we get to keep one of these T-shirts.
Yeah, and I just want to say that we appreciate the opportunity, because I really believe the best chapter in Southeastern Oklahoma State University's history is yet to be written. I know these are great times, but with your leadership, Melinda, and all the people in this room, I know I'm preaching to the choir, it's going to get only better. So thanks for having us, and congratulations to every one of you at the scholarship.
And let's hear it for the Southeastern Oklahoma State Matthews.
Well, as we as we take our seats, let's give what I would call a seated standing ovation for truly two of the best entertainers we've ever had on this campus, Burns Argus, Mike Turpin. Great job this evening. We appreciate everything that you've done for the university. And that will conclude our evening. As I mentioned earlier, we hope everyone can join us at the house for a reception, and we'll continue our evening there. Most of all, this has been a great evening for the university. I think our students certainly inspired us, and to end with Mike and Burns on what some might even call a high note is a great way to end the evening. So with that, thank you for your support of Southeastern. Have a good evening. Thank you.